Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV. It's time for the highlights, reaction, and rating show for Arsenal's 1-0 victory over Bodo Glimt in Norway.
Already, chance, Balotelli, Aguero! Premier League champions 2016. Leicester City!
Hope to see you soon. Well done. Bye-bye.
Cazorla, Giroud again, John Wilson! It's Gerrard. That's a great strike! McCracken getting closer. To the centre. It's Bergkamp. That's magnificent. Van Persie arriving. Oh, what a goal! What a goal by Robin Van Persie!
Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV, and it's time for the the ratings, highlights, and reaction show. I've got Manny and Mel with me. How you doing first, Manny?
Yeah, can't complain. Good to see that game. Little bit cagey in some respects, and certainly in many ways a missed opportunity for a few players to really stake a claim. But you know, a win's a win. Scrappy goal. They all count either way. Job's a good one.
Yeah. Mel, how you doing?
I'm good, Steven. It's nice to be back on your channel again, and nice to share the platform with many. I think today's game highlighted a certain goalkeeper that we have. You know, he had a great performance today, and for me, his positional awareness tonight was the star of the night. I also think tonight, you know, sometimes you have to grind out to win. It wasn't necessarily an easy game for us. Just what we needed, though, considering the tricky conditions with the astro pitch, the artificial pitch that Bodo Glimt play under. Not a pretty win, but at the end of the day, we got the job done. 9 points by 9 for Arsenal at the moment. And next up, we have PSV.
Yeah, like I said, it was a very cagey affair. Bodo Glimt put up a very good fight against us, to be fair, and we were a little bit caught at times, but we managed it well. And yeah, like you said, a certain Matt Turner that's been getting a lot of stick from Arsenal fans, to be fair, though he's not had hardly any chances, he has really showed up to be a decent goalkeeper tonight. So, yeah, like I said, very cagey affair. I was expecting a tight game, but I did think Arsenal will probably get more than one goal, to be fair. So there is a bit of but like we all said, it wins a win. It's 9 points. We play PSV. I do think we will have to play a bit of a stronger team against PSV in that game, but in those two games. But like, you can't really complain really at the moment. We got obviously Giroud at the end of it as well. So yeah, just carry on as normal. We now move on to Leeds in the Premier League. We're still a number of our teams rested. So yeah, that was the main thing tonight. Just making sure we just grind out a win, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, what did you make of the lineup, Manny? Because he obviously went a bit more. He put a bit more like experienced players on the pitch, or first team players. Those.
He did, but he also sprung a few surprises. As I said to you on the live watch along, it was a bit of a surprise that he put in Vieira as the outside left midfielder, because normally he'd come in on the right. And you did say that the only thing stopping him from potentially being a good cover for Bukayo Saka is that he wouldn't necessarily provide that much width. So I was hoping to see him have a decent game today, but he looked, for the most part, fairly innocuous. Didn't really do too much with the ball. And of course, with Odegaard playing on the right, I don't know how. I think he had a little bit of involvement, but not really too much to be completely influential on the game, if you know what I mean. And then, of course, it was a 4-3-3 because that really does seem to be the only way that Eddie Nketiah can come in. You leave him up front, he's isolated, all alone,
He
a bit
doesn't
like
have
a
the
schoolboy,
movement.
if you will.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have the movement. He's had the movement of a dead slug. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So this was an opportunity, of course, for Reece Nelson to do as well as he could, but he also couldn't really get into the game as well as we would have liked. So it was effectively down to, Sambi did read quite well. I thought Tierney had a decent game in terms of getting into spaces and, being able to run quite well. But there were some moments when, we were carved up as a defensive unit. And I'm not too sure how impressed you were with Ben White. I don't think he offered too much in this game to have justified him starting over someone like a Tomiyasu.
Yeah. I was very questionable about. Look, I'm not Ben White's biggest fan. I do think Saliba does help him a lot on that side. But since Saliba was moved to the left side and Holding was moved to the right, you all of a sudden saw Ben White starting to struggle on that side and starting to see the right back that sort of I get to see, which is very very sloppy and not doing the defensive duties he should do. That's why I still remain sceptical about the guy. He has his good games, but this one really showed why we should be starting with a natural right back. Mel, what did you make of the lineup?
The lineup, to be honest, I was a bit skeptical with in terms of seeing, especially someone like Saka and White starting, considering the performance that we have next up against Leeds at Ellen Road. Ellen Road is never an easy game. We should never underestimate our opponents. I would have liked to see the likes of Saliba, White, and Odegaard. Well, actually, Saliba, White, and Saka. I would have liked to see them rested. Now, however, with that being said, I do understand the reason for going, more of a semi-attacking lineup because Bodo Glimt are not a team you should underestimate and are not a team you should give full respect to. They destroyed Jose Mourinho's Roma 6-1 and
Exactly.
also playing in an artificial turf, astroturf, because of the weather circumstances there with Bodo Glimt, Norway, located near the Arctic. They have to play under these conditions, and it wasn't necessarily an easy game. With that being said, from the lineup tonight and in terms of the performance, Nelson did do well in terms of man marking and taking his man on, passing, and possession wise. But I wanted to see more from him, especially in terms of end products. The finishing in the final third, I just felt we lacked quality. Tonight's game, the players that really shined tonight, just based on the lineup, was Sammy Lakanga and Matt Trent. And I think Saka had a great game until he was subbed off again.
Yeah, I agree with that. To be fair, especially with Matt Turner, you mentioned it in the watch along, and I think he was very very good. He stood up well, he stood up for scrutiny. Let me get to the chat. Luca, big up yourself, mate. Big up. You okay? I thought that it was before performance. I wouldn't say poor, mate. I think it was expected. I did say it was going to be a tough game. I did say it was going to be tight. I didn't say it was going to be a walk in the park. Like, trust me, I said that. And I don't think it's just because of the artificial pitch, mate. They've got very good support in the home ground. They've got they've got a fearlessness when they play at home. They love to play their attacking football and they're not afraid to do it. So I was expecting that sort of performance from Arsenal where it wasn't great, it wasn't pretty, but who gives a shit? We won, right? We got the goal we needed. We held out the goal that we needed, and we won 1-0. doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter about anything else. We won the game. Simple as that. That's all you can ask for. Like, and that leaves us with, like I said, leaves us with number. I mean, I was a bit surprised with the lineup, to be fair, with the experienced players that was on the pitch. But then it made sense to me, to be honest. Odegaard made sense because obviously he's from Norway. He knows how to play in that sort of environment. So that made sense. Saliba, obviously, he wanted to drop. It was right to drop Gabriel. Gabriel's been poor, and so he put Saliba. And I think during the game he did end up moving Saliba to that right hand side. So yeah, it's been a struggle. So Nelson for me didn't do. It was all down Saka's side because Nelson wasn't there really. He didn't really help contribute to the game, to be honest, mate. But like I said, Matt Turner did exactly what was needed of him, and thanks to him, we've got all 3 points. So there you go, mate. All those Arsenal fans that were saying Turner is shit, mate. Well, he's not that bad. He can't be that bad, mate. And like people said, he starts to get ahead of Stefan, and Stefan can play the second goalkeeper for Man City. So there you go. How's your day? I hope you're keeping well. I do think Saka was the best player, right? But we look tired. Players didn't shine tonight, but used to on the pitch. Yeah, but to be fair, Luca, like, can I just make a point? To be fair, and do you know what? I'm gonna drop the link. Do you know what? Anyone who wants to come on, come on. Anyone. Luke, if you want to come on, come on. Okay. And that's my choice.
will give us a good game.
Yeah, they will give us a good game. And before anyone says anything, that's my choice. That's my choice. So, links there.
Yes, if we play like today against PSV, we're gonna get ripped apart. Home or away, PSV. Van Nistelrooy, yeah, don't underestimate his team.
Oh, sorry. I pressed the wrong button.
Yeah,
For a minute there, you were the spotlight.
Yeah, you should have put the camera on. You're in the spotlight. So,
But yeah, we will get started with the review of our game, but also the
yeah, it was a very good tactical. It was a very interesting tactical battle in the midfield to see who would dominate possession. To be fair, I did feel both teams. If I look at the stats, let me look at the stats of Arsenal's performance tonight, because I think that will shed a light of the midfield battle. If you see, I might go on to score live score or something. Sofa score or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, if you look, we only had 55% possession. Right? They had 45%. So it was quite even. Right? They had 520 passes. The passing accuracy was pretty much the same. Right? So it was kind of even in a sense. Right? It was even Stevens throughout the whole game. So you can see there's been a real tactical battle going on in the game. And in the right, but yeah,
they actually did have chances in the end of the first half and in the second half to equalize.
Yeah, so it's been the chat. How are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry being a bit late. So much to do, but I'm here now.
Is that yeah, mate? So what did you make of the game?
Yeah, as I said, I mean, it wasn't an entertaining or spectacular game. It was more a professional game where we went there. We had a game plan. We kind of played like a 3-4-3 kind of formation, and I think we were better in the first half. I think Matt Turner was man of the match. I think Saka was the one who was being a threat from the outfield players. I think Nelson had a quiet game today. I think Vieira and Odegaard also, and Eddie had a quiet game. I think Saliba, White and Tierney were solid. I think Holding was struggling the whole game with the line and positioning. So he was a bit disappointing. I think Sambi was first half. I think he was okay. He got an assist for the goal. Second half, I felt he was sloppy and he was struggling with physicality. And it is a bit of a worry with Sambi Lokonga because he's very hot and cold, and he's young, but he's not that young. I think he's already 23 years old. So he needs to show more if he wants to be part of Arsenal Football Club in the future. He definitely needs to show more. And Nelson, I think this is his last season for Arsenal.
Yeah.
I can't see him. I can't see the club extend. And if I'm him, just move on.
He's not made it. He's not made the cut for me. He's not excelling.
No, he's not.
It's kind of like Nketiah in a way. People can make excuses about Nketiah. For me, he's not good enough.
I think Nelson is even worse.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Kind of have a long of good spells at Arsenal, and I think he's there more of the hype. You know, he came up and he was the most talented attacking player we had since Jack Wilshere. He was more highly rated than Saka and ESR, but he's not been able to go from youth football to men's football, and I think maybe he should just try and go to Eredivisie. Maybe that's his level for now.
Maybe it's just, but either way, like it highlights for me again that Nketiah's just not it's not so much. People might say he's not got the chances. Gabriel Jesus makes chances. He makes chances for himself. Why? Because his movement's so good. Look on his movement off the ball. Right? He's dragging players out of position. He's creating space for other players as well as creating space for himself. You see Nketiah, it's like static. It's literally, I'm going to stay here in this position, striking position. He doesn't move. He doesn't create space. Right? And that's why he struggles to get opportunities. And when he does, his shot is nowhere near clinical enough. It's not. And I'm sorry, that's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. And not at this club anyway. So for me, his time, Eddie Nketiah's time's come to, because I've given him as many chances as possible, and I think so have Arsenal. Right? And I think also, yeah, like you said with Nelson needs to leave because he hasn't made the cut. There's a few players that still need to go, and we need, if we're gonna invest in getting a proper squad depth that can go and challenge the big boys, like the big teams, even because we're still in Europa. We're not. This is not the Champions League, for example. Right? If we are going to challenge that, then we're gonna need to get rid of these players like Holding, Nketiah and Nelson, and bring in proper top quality players. So if we're gonna push forward,
yeah, that's naturally the next step of the so-called process. Is now to get rid of your
exactly. But what I don't like then is people making excuses for these players. Well, I'm sorry, they're not good enough. They don't cut it at this level.
Yeah.
So let's. I mean, to be honest, like Nketiah If when Nketiah is sitting on the bench for Leeds and they're in the Championship, that says it all. That says it all, in my opinion. So, but look, I don't want to make it completely about Nketiah rant, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, say for who's standing out for you?
I think Matana and Saka were the bright lights in this game. I think Turner made some good saves and he came out good as well from his line and stopped some attacking chances. I think this is his best game so far at Arsenal, and I think Saka was the one who was creating chances, who was dragging their fullbacks and also got the goal. So for me, them two were really the bright lights. The other players were not that good, unfortunately, today. A lot of players were missing for a large part of the game. Yes, we can talk about the surface and all of that, but in the end, you can do like Saka. You can take the ball and you can challenge people, regardless of any surface you play on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like this, as much as people saying there was the pitch and this, that, and the other, we should be like certain players need to be doing better than that. Like
Yes.
so, you can't blame everything on this, that, and all the on this, that, and the other. You just got to look at them and say they're just not good enough. They're just poor. They're just not at the
I
level.
think you made a good point there. If the thing that I like with Jesus is that if the ball doesn't come to him, he goes and get it and creates something.
If it doesn't ball goes to him, he's still moving around to create space for other players that will get the ball.
Yeah.
And then that's how you see defenders out of position. Like, so they're too busy worrying whether to track to Jesus or go and track or stay in position. And because they get caught in between the two, it creates the space for the midfielders to be able to exploit and score goals. That's why you see more goals out of Martinelli. You're seeing goals out of Saka. You're seeing goals out of Odegaard now as well as Jesus.
Yeah. And Granit as well. Start scoring goals.
Yeah, Granite as well, for God's sake. You know what I mean, man? Like, yeah, exactly. But, yeah, but like I said, he tried to bring on subs. I mean, I'm trying to pick up things in this game, but there's not a lot to go on.
Yeah, it was a boring game. It really felt like a Europa League game today.
Yeah, it really did. Let me just pick out one thing about this. He picked up the sub. I don't know what's happened to. You right, Manny? Manny? I think he's falling asleep.
Oh,
You,
Are you alright?
asleep, man? You alright with
Yeah,
this?
yeah. Just
Yeah, man, it's like Steven and I
Mate,
so boring. I can't listen to them anymore.
Yeah, mate. If you need to go, mate, just say so.
no, that's all
alright.
good. I mean, I think I think I've caught your drowsiness or whatever it is. But yeah, so what did you want to ask me, Mr. Featley?
I wanted to. Well, I was just asking if you're alright for a start.
I'm okay now.
Yeah. I mean,
Levity.
that we bought trying to bring subs on, right? But I think Arteta was caught in two minds when he was making the subs. He was bringing an attacker on, but he was bringing a defender on at the same time. So he's like, I want to go ahead and attack, but I want to defend. Like, so it got caught mixed up in the two for me. Like, I don't know what he was. I mean, when he did bring Xhaka on, and some of the midfielders that are strongest midfielders on, we did end up getting more of control of the game. But Bodo Glimt was still very, very dangerous on the counter, and probably we got kind of lucky in a sense because some of their shots should have been goals.
Exactly. I think of the Pellegrino shot where he did brilliantly, drop of the shoulder, evaded both of us both of the defenders on his tail, and yet shot wide, high, and ugly for my liking. And there were a few other shots which, Solbakken had a beautiful attempt which went over the bar, but of course Turner had it covered. Turner made a couple of other good saves, and here's the thing. I mean, obviously, when it came to the earlier match at the Emirates, we were talking about the substitutions there. He was bringing on a few of the first teamers. I think Reece Nelson was the only non-first teamer he brought on. Here, I think it was difficult to see what subs he could bring on in an attempt to try and, either alter the formation or maybe bring on a little bit more of an attacking impetus. I was surprised he didn't take Vieira off because Vieira probably looked a little bit innocuous in his position. He obviously wanted to try and rest Saka and bring Xhaka on for a bit. And then, of course, Ben White had to be yanked off. I think it's fair to say that most of the subs, Stephen, had to be made because if they weren't made, then in one or two cases, they would have been on a bigger hiding to nothing, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Luca, how you doing?
Big up, man. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm alright, man. What did you make of the game?
Man. To me, I thought first half. I thought the first 5-10 minutes we were a bit poor because I just thought look, Saka got his good goal, and I think it was quite a very, very lucky deflection goal in my opinion because it could have even gone either way. I thought he was probably our best player at best tonight, and for me, look, it was a very difficult circumstances tonight because it was an artificial pitch, right? And for me, we're not used to be playing on a pitch like that, and for them, the opposition, they're more used to it. But performance-wise, I thought second half we were poor, to be honest. I thought we were very, very, very poor. They could have easily equalised. And what Manny said, if it wasn't for the substitutions, they could have easily got scrapped the draw out of this game, to be honest.
Okay, what do you think of Matt Turner's performance?
I think Matt Turner was decent. I actually think he was decent because there was
I thought he was my best player.
Yeah, I think he was good. I think Matt Turner and Saka were their best two players on the pitch. I do think so because Matt Turner, there was a moment where I did get a little bit worried near towards the end of the last 10 minutes. There was a corner. Matt Turner looked a bit shaky on the ball, and when he punched it out. But however, I think he was good tonight. He really impressed me tonight. And I know I'm not his biggest fan, but for me, you've got to give this guy credit. No, honestly, you've got to give him credit because for me, Matt Turner's doing very well, and he's proving everyone wrong. He feels more calm and more relaxed.
That's what I said. As soon as more games he plays and settles into the club, he will get more settled. And like I said, Stefan's number 2 goalkeeper for Man City, but he starts ahead of him in the USA squad, so he can't be totally shit.
Look, he might not be completely shit, right? But he hasn't played against a Man City or a Liverpool yet. You know what I mean? I know we beat Liverpool at the Emirates.
Yeah, but however, that's
he's
only
the second keeper. He's not supposed to be.
The second keeper, you can't. The second keeper is never going to be the same level.
No, of course not. It's different. It's different comparison. Always the number 1 keeper is always going to have a different advantage compared to the second goalkeeper because Matt Turner's brought in as a backup goalkeeper. Yes, he might not be my second goalkeeper, what I wanted, but at the end of the day, we've got a second choice keeper. I do think possibly in the future we probably do need a goalkeeper in the future of transfer windows. Because we've done this in this situation before, Stephen, because we've had Ronaldson. Ronaldson wasn't good enough for Arsenal.
Yeah, but Ronaldson...
He's much better than Ronaldson.
He is, but I would rather have an experienced goalkeeper.
He is experienced.
Like someone like Keylor Navas.
He's experienced for Team USA, mate.
He is, Melina, but I'd rather have someone like Navas, someone experienced that.
But the thing is, Luca, what you need to understand is that when you bring in a very good second keeper, they leave. And that's why Martinez...
That's the thing. That's the thing. If you bring... Yeah, that's the thing. If you bring in a good second keeper, all they're going to do is just get pissed off they're sitting on a bench when they know they can play on a team that starts every week. So that's why they can't ever be the same level. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the player ratings. Anyway, mate, we're gonna move on because we gotta get these done. I know I'm going to bed. Simple as that. Right, so let's go. Right, I'm gonna start with Aaron Ramsdale, and I'm gonna give here.
Aaron
Ramsdale.
Ramsdale.
Aaron
He didn't
Ramsdale.
play.
Matt Turner. I'm gonna
Is
You
it
give
said
Matt.
I
looking
was
like
out of
money
it.
now?
I was
What's
about to
going
say,
on?
Steven, I don't know what game you were watching.
Yeah. Matt Turner. I'm gonna give him to Mel.
For me, he's my man of the match. I think he had a great game today. I also want to mention, you know, he's oftentimes scrutinized because of where we signed him from, but his positional awareness today was great. I think he was really fast off his line and protective of his line, really well organized there. I just think he just needs some work on the ball, and hopefully we see him improve further on.
I'd say 8.
8 for me, yeah. Well,
Okay.
actually, he's my man of the match, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but no one will get higher than. To be fair,
Yeah,
I
we
don't
all,
think a lot of people are gonna get higher. To be fair,
yeah.
Ben White. I'm gonna give him to Sait. What are you going for?
Yeah, I think Ben White was all right. I don't think he was bad. I don't think he was amazing. I'll give him a 6. I
Okay.
think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Holding Manny. What are you going for?
Holding actually had a decent game against Bodo at the Emirates, but I think today he sort of seemed to be positionally out of it, and I don't think he was as dominating with his in the air as he would have liked to have been. The sad thing is that apart from Gabriel and Saliba, Holding was basically our third centre back in the squad. So that also shows that we might be a little bit thin in that area. And if we can strengthen there, that would be terrific. But he was disappointing for me. And I'm wary of being too harsh on him, but I certainly wouldn't want to give him a high rating. Um, would a 5 be fair, perhaps?
For Holding, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Saliba. Who do we give Saliba to?
Is this for me or?
Yeah, go on, Luke.
Saliba for me, I didn't think Saliba wasn't like that great in my opinion because I just think like overall with all the players, I just think like it just wasn't really a good performance. Saliba was bang average tonight. He was bang average tonight. Like I don't
Okay.
think he wasn't that great. I don't know. What did you think of Saliba?
I think he was okay. He did his job.
Yeah.
I would have said a 6 to me.
Like
Instead of a 5.
maybe
But
you give him a 6, but I just think he was just a bit bang average.
yeah,
A
that's
6
fine.
is fair.
5,
6 is fair.
5 and 6 is
Better
sort
than
of
Holding. Better than
five-
Holding. You can't give give
Yeah.
Saliba and Holding the same rating. Sorry.
Yeah, but 6.
No, you can't
Like,
do that. You can't do
yeah,
that.
I mean, 5 and 6 is pretty much bang average anyway. So, Tierney, I'm gonna give that to Mel.
I was surprised with the performance today. I felt like he did a great job. I felt like he did a good job, not a great job against, when I saw him play last time, he was better. I want to see more from him. I'm not sure what it was today. I just felt like the team wasn't really up for it today. But Tierney was one of the better players on the pitch. I expect
So,
more from him in terms of his quality. For me, it's just a 6 for me.
6 or 6?
6, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, cool. We'll move on to the midfield now. And we're going to look at Sambi Lokonga. And I'm going to give him to Sait.
I think Sam Conga in the first half, he was good. He got that assist for Saka's goal. I think in the second half, he was struggling. He was sloppy, out of position, out. I'll give him a 5.
A 5.
I'm a bit worried for Sambi. He's a player that I like, but I don't think he's a number 6. I think he needs to play in a more advanced role. That's where you get the best out of his passing range. I don't think he's
Uh huh.
physically strong enough to play DM. If I'm
Yeah.
honest.
Right. Right. I'm giving Vieira the Portuguese Luca to Luca.
Portuguese Vieira. You think I look like Vieira? Right, okay.
Yeah, it's literally, mate. Look at him. He's literally you with a
But I've
goatee.
cut my hair off now, so.
No, mate. He's you with a goatee. Grow your hair, right, and get a goatee, and you look like him.
Right,
Spitting
Vieira for
image.
me. Hard to say, really. I thought he was average tonight. I thought he was quite average.
So you're saying you were shit tonight?
Yeah. I do think he was. Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Because you're saying if I was Vieira, you think I'm a shit footballer then?
I think, Luca, the issue was that you thought the same thing. You thought exactly what Stephen
Oh,
thought you
Manny.
thought, but you were too diplomatic to want to say it.
No, I don't. I think the midfield was poor tonight. I
I'm
just
just saying.
think
I've been waiting to do that. That was funny.
you had to do that, didn't you, Stephen?
Oh, sorry. Right. Odegaard, Manny, what are you going for?
Where do I start with him? I think the only really good patch.
Mr. Missing.
The only good patch he had in the game was some spell in the first half where he tried his best to combine a little bit with Bukayo Saka.
Honestly,
But,
I'm going to ask if his agent's Houdini. Because he makes him disappear.
Dini. Why Dini?
No, Houdini makes him disappear.
Oh, yeah.
The magician.
Yeah. I actually have been speaking to a few friends about him, and they've said, mate, he's really starting to, tick me off because I need to mince my words with Malene in the chat. And here's the thing, he's the type, I always say that he reminds me so much of Graham Chapman from Monty Python. He makes one fantastic contribution, yeah, and then either stays silent or goes missing the rest of the time.
I'm so happy Manny
That's
isn't doing this slander to Xhaka. I'm so happy. Go ahead, Manny.
Yeah, so Shaka belongs to you, Mel. I think Stephen will give you that. And he came on as a sub, I know. So
No,
I think
I can't trust he'll be biased or not.
No, but Mel is unbiased. I know. I
know. I'm joking. I'm just joking.
Yeah, good. So again, I really can't put my finger on any real contribution he made. I think he was probably unlucky because had that defender not come in, slid in and sort of helped with the deflection back off Saka's head for the goal, I think Saka was actually trying to pass to either Odegaard or Nketiah, and either one of them would have scored. But again, Odegaard just went completely missing and never really did very much. And I'd have to give him a 5. I can't give him a higher than a 5. I'm tempted to give him a 4, but we can't be seen as an Odegaard hating channel. You know what I mean?
Mate, I don't care a toss. We just give my rating as it is. If people don't like it, they can go to watch something else.
Half his shirt number?
There he is again, Dictator Steven in his prime.
Yes, Dictator Steven has spoken. I'm going to do Saka, right? I haven't done any player yet, so I'm doing Saka. So, right, I think he was good today.
I think he was good.
Saka was good.
I mean, it was important he got the goal. I think it was well taken. Yeah, right, got lucky deflection, but again, it was created by his movement with the 1-2 and everything. So I would say he wasn't as good as Turner for me. So I'd say 7 for me.
Jersey number.
Yeah, I think he was his jersey number 7. To be fair. Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna go with that. But yeah.
And with that goal, it could be a case of lucky number 7, if you will.
Yeah, Reece Nelson. Mel.
You know what? In the first half, he was good in terms of passing, in terms of taking his man on, in terms of possession. He didn't tend to lose possession. But Reece Nelson, you are not new to Arsenal Football Club. You've been here for a long time, and I think this season is your last, with all due respect. I also think that finishing in the final third, he drastically lacks. He came back from injury a while ago, so I'll give him that. Cut him some slack, but he's not new. He's been here for a long time. He knows
Yeah.
what to do. And if you're not living up to those expectations, then I'm sorry, you are not going to get game time. I actually thought, maybe we should have taken off Nelson sooner. And I know Mikel has ski impact and brought
Yeah.
on Marquinhos. Now, mind you, Marquinhos was not any better. It felt like they were, in this game specifically, cut from the same cloth. I felt Nelson had an average game, just bang average. 5 for me.
Okay. Right, I'm gonna go to now. Nketiah. Say.
I was a bit disappointed. I'm someone who I do like Eddie. I'm not one of his critics, but I think he was poor today. Yes, it was a hard game for him. They didn't create a lot for him, but if the ball doesn't come to you, you have to go and get the ball. And I think I need to give him a 5, and I think that's maybe even nice. I don't see what he
4.
contributed to the team in attacking wise.
If you think he was a little poor, then he gets a 4.
Yeah.
My thoughts exactly.
Yeah.
He
4
wasn't
minutes.
poor.
Exactly.
He can't. He wasn't poor because for me, because
He wasn't involved in the game. That's what I mean.
no,
Like,
but
he
what I
had one
liked in the first
opportunity.
half,
I
his
think he
runs
had
were
more
very
than one
good.
chance in the first half that he could have pocketed away. And it's
Yeah.
Nketiah. I am not one of his worst critics, but I think today there's some chances that Eddie, you know how to finish that. You know how to slot that.
Nketiah didn't get the service.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but
I agree.
but the
You
thing,
didn't get the service,
yeah,
and
but
that's why I said, like, when you don't get the service as a striker,
you gotta go
you can
find
do
it,
2 things. You can either go and try and get it, and
or you
so
can
you
hide
create
it.
space for the other attackers, or you can just stay up there and be frustrated. And I think today he just stayed up top and
See
was
Jesus, when he doesn't get the ball, he's still
yeah.
creating
Yeah.
movement, which
I think the
opens
reason
up the defense,
yeah,
and then it gives what it does is it lets
yeah.
the midfielders come in and be able to pick up those spaces and score goals. Right? The thing is, Nketiah doesn't do this. He doesn't learn this, so he doesn't. So there's no space for the midfielders to be able to create chances and score goals because he's not pulling people out of position. He's just standing there waiting for the ball to come to him. And I'm sorry, if you're marked out of the game, no one's gonna pass to you. Simple.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
you've got to go.
usually
You've got to create it yourself.
he has a lot of energy and likes to run into the channels, but he didn't do that today, and
Exactly.
it was a bit disappointing. And I mean, if he wants to push to get more minutes in the Premier League,
He wants to prove that he's worthy of that
then
shirt.
he
Then he
needs to do way better.
Mm.
Honestly, he needs to do better.
Anyway, we'll move.
Yeah, move on.
Look, we'll move to. I'll get this out of the way. Granit Xhaka, Mel, go on.
Today was actually not one of Granit's most prominent games, if I'm being honest with you. However, I think when he came off the bench, he did make an impact in terms of stabilizing the team when it was going through, a bit of a turn where Bodo was trying to get back into the game and also trying to equalize. I think he stabilized our midfield that was already really, really poor to begin with. He's not my man of the match, but I think he had just an average game. 6 for me.
6. Okay, fair. I'm gonna go with next Thomas Partey. I'm gonna give him some money.
Ooh, party doesn't start until Thomas walks in. Didn't do very much. Don't stop, make it pop. DJ, blow my speakers up.
No, please don't.
Melina, you remember that song, don't you?
I love that song.
Yeah. So didn't really do too much, but didn't really need to be honest, and just never really had much of an opportunity to impose himself on the game because he came on so late. But listen, he is important to our team, and I think it's a sign of how shaky we were near the end that Mikel had to bring him on. I can't give him too high a rating, but I definitely...
5.
You know what? Let him have a 5. Let him have a 5. Jersey number.
He played 8 minutes, so it's very hard to judge him.
5. Jersey number.
Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah, Steven, I gotta run, man. But thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no worries, man. Take care, yeah?
Alright, take care, bro.
Take
Yeah,
care.
listen,
Bye.
say hello to the family and the children for me, all right? Bless them all.
Oh, thanks, man. I'll definitely do
Yeah,
that.
definitely. Send my love.
Take care, Miss Mel and Luca. Nice to speak
Thank
to
you,
you.
man. Thank you very much.
Alright, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, Martinelli. Luca, what do you make of Martinelli?
Done what he had to do when he came on. I think, look, Arteta was not going to start Martinelli, because if he would have started Martinelli, then people would have been on Arteta's stick tonight. And but no, I think Martinelli, for me, he was all right. He was okay, similar to what Granit Xhaka, what Mel said. Done what he had to do. I think Martinelli gets the 6. Thought he was okay.
Okay.
What did you think?
I would have probably said a 5, to be fair. But, it's your call. Marquinhos. Mel.
To be honest, like I said earlier, I think he was just as bad as Reece Nelson. I don't think, Marquinhos, I was really impressed with in the game at home against Zurich. Now, mind you, away at Zurich, because we have yet to play them at home. Correction there. I really felt like he didn't really have much of an impact in this game. He didn't get much involved and didn't. I felt like there were times where he could have got more direct with the game, and he lacked that quality tonight. I don't know what it was, whether, it just wasn't his
I
night.
think it's just inconsistency with age. Like,
He's too young, yes, he is learning.
He's very young. He is very young.
And he's raw off the ball sometimes. We did see quality from him, but hopefully, he has a better game next time against PSV.
Yeah, he's
a 5.
Yeah, he's got a lot to learn still.
Yeah.
Tomiyasu, I'm gonna do him finally. I'm just gonna give him a standard 5, to be fair. He did what he had to do. Manager's rating, I would have said a 6.
I'll go along with that. 6.
That's fair.
That's fair. Manny?
6 as well for me.
6. Right, there you go. There's your ratings. Matt Turner, man of the match. 6 for the manager. Second best player was Saka. Worst player was Nketiah. There you go. Yeah, but I'm gonna wrap it up now because I'm knackered. So yeah. Thanks for everyone that's tuned in as usual. Make sure you do hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button as well. Manny, where can they find you, mate?
Well, you can find me on social media. My Twitter handle is Thungatherai1981. You can see me having a few debates with other Arsenal fans and also talking about politics and a few other issues. For a close personal connection, you can catch me on Instagram at Manny Thungatherai1981. I post a lot of stories, a few photos, a bit, just say whatever I want to say there too. And you can find me on other channels on YouTube, Delboy Gunner TV, Oris Talks Football, Coach's Corner with Hanno Trollip, King's Football Show with the just departed or just left King Sait, and Football for Thought podcast. I just got off a stream with Danny AFC TV, a sort of a resurgent Arsenal fan channel. Great person, great company. Tony Claude Gunner TV. I'm doing a lot more work with him, and
definitely.
Basically, just doing a lot more of these streams with people, going where I feel comfortable, and just saying what I want to say. And all I can say to everyone is thank you all for having me. Peace to all. Have a good night, and I'm out.
Wicked. Mel, where can they find you?
You can find me on SFeatleyTV first and foremost. You can find me on Luca AFC, usually after match reactions, sometimes for occasional previews if I'm available. You can also find me on my own channel. I do Arsenal and Fantasy Premier League content. I feature weekly on FPL Casuals, a show where we analyze every manager's game week in our team. and we talk about who's your best players to bring into your team. With that being
Wicked.
said, thanks a lot for having me on the second half of the watch along near the end after I finish work, and also on your rating stream today.
No worries, no worries. Finally, Luca, where can they find you, mate?
Well, yeah. First and first, thanks for inviting me on. But no, good win for Arsenal tonight. It wasn't a good performance, but however, we did it the hard way. No, follow me on YouTube, Luca AFC. That what we do is we do Arsenal, we do previews, match reactions, reviews, day out vlogs. We do have a show at 10 p.m. tonight, and thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah, no worries. Like I said, make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe. Do hit the join button as well, because it all goes to Children's Liver Disease Foundation. So any donation you can make via the charity, via the Just Giving page, super chats, or via the membership does help to save kids' lives. So if you could do that, that would be really helpful. But until then, everyone stay safe, stay well. Yeah. And we'll see you
Take care, everyone.
hopefully tomorrow. Bye.